Well, welcome back to Toyota Sports Talk. Commanders training camp up and running, and we are getting reacquainted with the Washington Commanders. And thankfully, we've got a new face joining us this year. And today, Deebo Samuel. Welcome to Washington. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yep.
A couple of days under our belt already. How are things going?
It's pretty smooth. Weather's nice. Not too hot, not too cold. I'm from the South, so I'm kind of used to the humidity a little bit, but we're just getting things rolling right now. We
see you dancing. I see smiles on you with your. I know you got a couple dance moves going on. How are the vibes? How's the chemistry?
The vibes are through the roof, man. I wasn't here last year. They made a good run, but last year. We just here to work, build each other up, and just get better by the day.
All right. Well, let's talk about you getting here to Washington. You had spent your full career, 6 years in San Francisco. You get a new start here, essentially. But let's go back to that time in San Fran. Again, they built the character, the person, everything about you, who you are today. What did you learn so much about that experience?
Man, it was just, that was just the beginning of something special. I still talk to Cal to this day. We've been locked in ever since, he drafted me. Like I said, a long time ago, it's no bad blood. Me and John Lynch still cool. Still in contact with a lot of the guys like Christian, Brock, Kittle, Demo, all those guys. So it was just started something special, and I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, well, to be here, why Washington?
I would like to say, like, teams was calling. Me and my agent was going, back and forth about what it was going to be. And I remember having a conversation with him of, where I wanted to go. It's kind of back on the South where I was, groomed, some of my family out in Baltimore, and I was really familiar with Adam Peters. So when we got the call, I had just landed in New York to watch the Tank fight and Roach fight, and I was getting off the plane, and my agent called me and was like, yeah, you about to be in Washington. So I was just, going to the fight, and then realizing I was coming here was just another level of excitement, and I was just ready to roll.
So up to that point, you said you obviously had a great relationship with Adam Peters. What was kind of going back and forth between you, your agent, and Washington, and why Washington was one of those options for you?
Me personally, I really didn't know what was going on. What my agent was saying to AP, what AP was saying to my agent, I didn't have no clue. It's because at the end of the day, we're not allowed. So I could just communicate with my agent. He could just communicate with me with what's going on. So luckily, we just made it happen.
Yeah, well, we are lucky to have you here in Washington. I'll speak for myself and the DMV, of course. When it came to, what is being built here, a lot of people wanted to be here. Players like yourself wanted to be here because of what Washington was building. Now that you've got a couple of months here under your belt, you know exactly kind of what the franchise is all about. What is this team building?
Man, they're building something special. You have a tremendous quarterback. Jayden, you got just a tremendous team overall. And like day one when I walked in the locker room, I already felt like I've already been here before, just by how the guys welcomed me in. It just felt like I knew so many people, but in reality, I didn't know too many of them. But as time goes by, through OTAs, you build a chemistry with a lot of guys, and till now, it's just like we just keep stacking those days and just see how the season goes.
Well, you mentioned Jayden, so let's start there before we dive into kind of the specifics of this team. I'm sure you had seen him from afar. You saw this rookie bursting onto the scene last year. Of course, probably you saw maybe clips on social media. You were watching his game. What did you know about Jayden, and what was your perception of him before landing here in Washington?
Ayuk was my teammate. They're best friends. So I kind of got a glimpse of him when he was at LSU just because BA keep up with him a lot. But last year, watching him, realizing, how calm he is out there. The moment is never too big. He's the same person day in and day out. Sometimes, he just be messing with me all the time. But, that's just him. And, the moment never too big for him. And, he's just a competitor.
So that was your perception before you met him. Now you meet him.
It's the same thing that I already seen.
Yeah.
Definitely the same thing I already seen.
That's cool. Well, we are already enjoying watching him throwing you some passes. You're building that chemistry, building that rapport pretty quickly. What is that like for you now, receiving those passes, being on the receiving end?
It's pretty good. We just continue to stack these days and just see how good we can really get.
All right. When it comes to the wide receiver room, of course, a lot of competition. DQ preaches that every single day. Again, I'm going to go back to the jokes and the smiles and you guys dancing with each other. It looks like something's being built there. What is it like competing with these guys?
Man, it's just every day is, we all compete. In reality, I'm my biggest competitor. I compete with myself, just try to take myself to another level, and I'm pretty sure that's how other guys treat it in the room. But when we out here together, it's just like, nobody's bigger than one another. We're one group, one band, one sound. We lift each other up. Somebody make a bad play, it's no, hey, bro, you got to do better. It's just like, how can we get better as a group? So that's one of the things that Well, I call him Be Easy, Bobby Ingram. That's kind of one thing he preaches in there, like, you know, it's just one group, and we're just going to get better and just see how things go.
Well, you mentioned that you are a competitor, and we know that. We know you're a proven player in this league. But I want you to kind of explain to the Washington fan base, the DMV, who do you think you are as a player, first and foremost?
As a player, I'm just a dog. Like, you know, just go out there and, like, whatever coach asks me to do, I'm telling you, I'm going to do it as best as I can, no matter what position it is, what he asks me to do. I'm just going to go out there and try to get shit done. All
right, I'm going to ask you a person, though, because I always like to get to know the player and the person. Who are you? Who is Deebo Samuel here?
You know, I'm really like a really goofy guy. Play around a lot, you know, like to joke, chill. You know, I'm really a gamer when I'm at home cooling. You know, I'm a dad as well. But overall, like, I just be enjoying the moment day by day and just going with the flow.
How do you balance dad life and pro life?
Work is work. That's how I'm allowed to do the things that, you know, I would want my son to do. So work is work, and then dad is just being the dad. You know, all those things. And when I'm here, I'm here. When I'm with my kid, I'm with my kid.
All right. Well, I'm going to segue this into being Dan Quinn is your dad here. He's everyone's dad here. What has it been like getting to know him, understanding the way he runs this team, runs practices?
Man, he's a tremendous coach. Very high on energy, and he's not a guy that's going to sugarcoat anything. If you feel like we didn't have a good practice, he's going to let it be known, and he's going to let it be known in a way that, you know, that'll put you to come out the next day and just get better. Because at the end of the day, you know, his job is to make sure that we playing at a very high level, and I feel like he do a great job at that.
Yeah, he sets the standard too. And what would you describe that standard being?
I wouldn't even say, like, it's a standard that it's going to be reached, but it's not a standard. Like, I don't think the standard is too high. Like, his standard is all the way up here. If he feel like we can get all the way up here, he's going to push everybody to get to that point, whether it's unreachable or not. He's just going to continue to push you and push you and push you just to be the best you can be.
He strives for perfection, but
sure.
He doesn't demand it.
Right.
You guys are already self-taught in that way, that you're going to be attacking every
Correct.
day and every drill and every practice like that. You look at the way, now again, I'll go back to having a couple of practices under your belt. You're going to get the pads on soon. Is that exciting for you?
Yeah.
As a physical
I don't
guy?
know. I don't know how. You know, I haven't been here long enough. I haven't put the pads on here, so I don't know really what to expect when you put pads on. But definitely ready to put the pads on for sure.
I know that you guys are competitors at the end of the day.
For sure.
So
but it's a fine line though. When pads come on, you also have to be physical, but you also have to protect the team. You don't want to hurt nobody. You don't want to hit nobody that's looking, and you want to have your feet in the ground. Don't hit nobody that can't see you. So everything's like physical in like a space where everybody knows what's going on.
You learned that fine line after 6
Correct.
years. Go back to year one, your rookie year. It might be hard at this point because
I know.
So much.
Trust.
Yeah. What would you tell yourself going back to year one now that you know and have accomplished so much?
It's just like year one when I was in San Fran. I'm talking about it's like I'm talking about put your pads on. We about to get to it. But like as you know, as you get further on in your career, it's just like all right, like we're gonna be where our feet are. We're gonna do the right things. We're not gonna make things harder than it's what's supposed to be. So we're gonna be professionals. We're gonna thud up. We're gonna hit each other, but we're not trying to hurt each other.
Being that you are a fresh face on this team, you've got leadership skills. We know that. Are you taking that initiative to be a leader here, even for rookies?
So I'm kind of a guy that kind of try to lead by example. I'm not really like a rah-rah guy, get in front of the team and just got this speech and got this motivation. But when the rooks or anybody come and ask me a question, if I got the answer, I'm gonna give them the game because that's just how I am. I want the next person to be the best version of themselves because me personally, I'm not gonna be in this game forever. So why not give the knowledge to the youngers? Because I had a vet when I was younger, Emmanuel Sanders, who gave me the game, and he gave me the game to pass it down, and it can just keep going on down the line.
Well, that's awesome. You look at a season, a full season. If you kind of are you a visualizer? Do you visualize success or what things look like, and then try to strive for that?
So like me, like I'm a day by day guy.
Okay, that's good.
Day by day, practice by practice, game by game, like.
Well, then I don't know if I should ask you this,
Yeah.
but I want to ask you, what does a successful year look like for you?
See, that's kind of
Too
hard.
broad, I guess.
That's tough. Because I'm just a guy that, practice today, all right, I'm do everything I got to do to get ready for practice tomorrow. Yeah. And whatever practice tomorrow holds, then we're going to get there, we're going to get it done, then we're going to go to the next day.
Well, as being a day-to-day guy, you sound like a guy that blocks out the noise as well. because I want to bring in a narrative we heard over the off-season OTAs.
Yeah.
I know you know where I'm heading with this.
For sure.
Just that you've lost your speed. That, and your answer and you're laughing right now shows what that means.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
You know, people got to have something to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, they show a clip of me jogging and OTAs is like, he's slow, da-da-da-da. But, I mean, hey, choose yourself. You know, everybody got to have a narrative. Everybody got to have something to say. But, I mean, we're here now. I mean, the season going to start, and we're going to have to put these pads on. You got to strap your helmet up, put your mouthpiece on, and we're going to see how far it goes.
So does that motivate you? Or you're just kind of saying, you know, I technically don't need it to motivate me because it's nonsense to begin with.
Yeah, because I know like who I am, what I'm capable of, my abilities, and you know, because the off season went tremendous for me, getting myself in shape, getting myself ready for camp, and I'm here to be the best version of myself, and we're gonna hit the ground rolling.
I like that. Well, before I let you go, we've talked about you. I want to talk about the team. Of course, these are early days here in training camp, but where do you see this team going? How special is this group from what you know here?
It's pretty special. You know, like I said, I wasn't here last year. You know, I just watched from afar, but they had a great run. But I've been a part of teams that had great runs and then it sinked. But you know, I don't see that happening by the past 2 days in OTAs, how OTAs went and how these past 2 practices is, and I think we know how good we is, and you know, we can continue to stack these days and just see where the season takes us.
All right. Well, Deebo, we are glad to have you here in Washington. Thanks
I'm
so
glad
much
to
for
be
the time.
here. No problem.
All right. Stay with us. More Toyota Sports Talk coming up on the other side of the break.